me to say thanks to all of you for the opportunity to be able to be in your home this morning or on your job site, wherever you are. My name is Steve Paul with Casualties of War Ministries International. It is a joy to be able to speak to every one of you again here this morning. And I hope you all had a good week. I know it's been some trying times, but you know what? We are alive. We are well. We have a lot to be thankful for. You know, the famous song I like to start with, that we always sang in church many years ago when we walked around and greeted others. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. The way to be happy is to make others happy. And what? You'll have a little heaven down here. You'll feel good in your soul. So if you have somebody next to you, shake their hand, give them a hug, let them know, listen, I am glad that you are alive. I am glad that we are alive this morning. We have so much to be thankful for. We are up and thankful. I hope when you woke up this morning, you raise your hands up and you say, thank you, universe, for giving me the opportunity to see another day. Many people take it for granted, but just the ability to be alive and well is so much that we have to give the Father and praise, thank for, and say thank you, God, for all that you're doing and all that you've done in my life, in the life of my family too as well. So yes, greetings to every one of you. Before I go into the message, I must say thank you and I must give thanks to recognize our authorities here that are doing everything to keep us as a nation safe. I know many times there's a lot of criticism leveled at the government and people have their own opinions. And I just want to say, as a citizen, as a patriot in this country, I think the government is doing an awesome job and I want to thank them for that. All right? So let us continue to pray for them. Let us continue to uplift them because that is our job as citizens of this great nation of ours. You know, as in my video presentation yesterday, I was talking about the Colonel, and I was talking about how people go through things in life. Let me just give you a little brief history about this young man. You know, at age 5 years old, he lost his father. At 16, he dropped out of school. At 17, he was fired from 4 jobs. Does that sound familiar? At 18, he got married and became a railroad conductor. At 19, he became a father of a little girl. At 20, his wife left him and took everything that they had, even the little child. At 22, he joined the army and applied to law school and faced rejection after rejection. Now, this is the gentleman that we are speaking about. Okay? He became an insurance salesman, another failure to be added onto his resume. I mean, the guy faced defeat after defeat every time. And he decided, you know what, let me be a cook and a dishwasher at a small restaurant. And even that was a little failure too as well. At 65 years old, the man retired. And all he received from the government was a check for $105. He looked at that and he said, what am I going to do with this? He had failure after failure after failure. You know, many of us maybe can identify with something like that because many of us probably have went down that road before. The failures, rejections, the no good. You will never achieve anything in this life. And he decided, you know what? I don't know what else I could live for. So here he is under a tree. And decided, you know what? Suicide is the only way out. There is nothing again for me to live for. I just seem to fail at everything. And then a bright light just shone upon him. He said, you know what? With all the bad, there must be something good. And I always want us that we must remember that in life. That when we talk so bad about ourselves, when we put down ourselves, remember there are some good within every one of us. So you know what he said? You know what? What am I good at? Oh yes, I'm good at cooking. So he decided to put his hand, he decided that he would put his hand right onto that And yes, he became very good at that. And today we have Colonel Sanders. You know, he started at 65, but his breakthrough never really came on until he was in his 80s, 85, 87 years old, when he became a multi-billionaire. The Colonel Sanders as we know it, this day that we live in right now. You know, how many of us gave up in life already? How many of us tried many things and we said that there is no use? You know, I am just a total failure. What can I do? There is a kernel inside every one of us. What do I mean by a kernel inside every one of us? The ability and the potential to be successful in life lies within every one of us. But we have to tap into what is inside of us. We have to know what our ability is. You see, when we were placed here on this earth, we came with gifts. We came with skills. God bless us mightily. But we have to know what we have inside of us. Remember that God spoke to the prophet one day and he said, listen, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Before you came out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Your ending and your ending in life came because of the beginning that God knew how your ending was going to be in this life. There is vast potential within every one of us. I remember the great Miles Monroe, a good friend of mine, and I hang around him a few times, and he would always talk about potential. He will always talk about success. And one of the great stories he would tell all times was the one about the graveyard. And that one resonated with me up to this day. He said, you know, the greatest wealth in this world is not in the fields of Saudi Arabia. He said the wealth in this world is not in the diamond mines in Africa, nor in the gold places in various countries. But he said the greatest wealth in this world lies right in the graveyard. And I thought, what did this man mean? He said, in the graveyard are songs that were never sung. He said, in the graveyard is medicine that was never invented. He said, in the graveyard are books that are never written because people died and all their potential went with them down inside the graveyard because they gave up in life. Let not that be you, my friend. Success lies at your door. The potential to be great and something in this life lies at your very door. Remember Colonel Sanders? He thought that was it. But he recognized something that he was good at. And he tapped into that potential there that was lying there all these years. At 65, 80s, the man got his breakthrough. Listen, all is not lost in your life. Regardless of your situation, regardless of where you are at right now, you tap into the kernel inside of you. All of us have that vast potential to be somebody great. There is greatness lying inside of us. Les Brown said, and I quote, he said, life is like territory. Once we stop fighting for what we want, what we don't want will eventually take over. How many things have you tried and failed at? How many attempts have you made and have gotten rejected? Don't stop there. Don't throw in the towel. I encourage every one of us that we rise, that we go forward. My friend, in my life, I have been a warrior from birth. My life has been full with so many ups and downs. It has been like been an emotional roller coaster. I have went through storms. I have went through battles. I have went through hell and high waters all through my life since growing up. I have been there. I have done that. I have seen so many things in life that caused me that I want to throw in the towel at times. But I stood tall and I said, you know what? There is light at the end. There is light at the end of everything. And so I am decided that regardless of what, I am going to keep forward. I'm going to keep marching on. There's a kernel inside of me. And it is my desire that before I leave this world, that I will leave a meaningful legacy. That should be your desire too as well. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for just the norm. Don't think that this is the end. Yes, the pandemic is here right now. Many of us may have lost our jobs. Many of us don't know where we will pay our rent. Many of us don't know how we're going to pay our bills. Listen, the kernel, it lies inside of you. While you are thinking of all the negative things, think of the things that you have. Think of the things that God has blessed you with. Count your blessings. Name them one by one. It will surprise you what the Lord has done. There is untapped resources in your life. Some of you listening to this message right now, inside of you is potential. Inside of you are skills that you have never tapped into. If you try your hand at doubles, you might make the best ones in this country. Who knows? If you try your hands at various things, you may be the best at it. But you must be able to know the potential that lies inside of you and tap into that potential. Whatever happens in life, keep going forward. Keep marching. Remember that when a woman is pregnant, you don't see the child for 9 months, but there is something inside of there. There is something growing inside of there. Many of us, when we don't see things happen, we say it's not working for me. It worked for him, it worked for Janet, it worked for Jane, but it won't work for me. Why? Because we are so easy to throw in the towel. We are so easy to say, it is not for me. But listen, something is happening in the spirit world for you right now, right this very moment, and you don't even know. If Colonel Sanders had committed that suicide at age 65, we would have never been enjoying that KFC this day and age. As a matter of fact, you might be cursing the man in the grave. So why you have to kill yourself? I can't eat no fried chicken right now. So just remember, there is potential in every one of us. We have to tap into it. Don't go down in the graveyard as a failure. Stand firm, and see God at work in your life. Success is at your door. You know, I believe many times success came knocking right at our door, and we never recognized it. We never realized that here was success lying there. Because you know what? We look at it in the wrong way. We look at it as, well, you know what? I haven't won the national lottery. I have not done this. I have not won this. I have not won that. Sometimes success comes in defeat. What do I mean by that? What seemed to be a loss is sometimes a gain. If your neighbor, if your landlord throw you out, it's because there's a house waiting out there somewhere for you. If they repossess your car because you can't pay the rest of the money, it's because there's a brand new car waiting out there somewhere for you. So sometimes you got to look at the negative and turn it around into something positive. Success is tricky. It is not always the way that we see it. Sometimes a seed have to die in the earth in order for it to live. Remember, God said, write the vision down. Whatever you want to accomplish in life, you got to write that vision down. Write it, read it, walk over it, look at it and say, yes, this is me. This is me. Where you see yourself 5 years from now? Where you see yourself 10 years from now? Are you seeing yourself as a total failure? Are you seeing yourself as a total loser? Or are you seeing yourself as somebody that could make a comeback from a setback? I came back in this country in 2014. I came back here with $9 in my name, $9 US. I had nowhere to go at that time. Thank God I had a sister and a brother who took me up for a while. But for a while I ended up on the street. I lived on the promenade. I lived on the shelter. It was hard. It was tough. I had no papers. I had nothing in my name. I was deported. But I was determined that I was going to make something in my life. I formed together this organization, CWMI, Casualties of War Ministries International. Why that name? Because it's all about restoring shattered lives. You see, I was once a life that was shattered. I was once a person that went through hell in my life. I know what it is. I know what it is to go through. One day you will read my personal biography, because I'm working on my book right now, and you'll be able to see everything in my book, all my personal stuff. All of you want to know everything about me, it'll be right in that book, just like President Obama wrote about how he smoked marijuana. You will see some stuff, you will raise your eyebrow in my book. But I want you to know, I can stand here and let you know that God has moved in my life. And because I was determined that I will make something in life, I kept going forward. I have not arrived yet, but I keep moving. I keep pressing. I keep marching on because I know that there's victory along the line. I know right there down the road, success awaits me. Listen, I could have died many years ago had it not been for the hand of God that kept me. The generation that knows me now don't know a lot about my things in the past, and I have a generation of people now that I thank God for, a new breed who I hang around with, that God has blessed me with to be friends among. And for those of you who know me in the past as an RI teacher, where I went about and ministering all the kids in the junior secondary school years ago, this is the Steve Paul. This is the Steve Paul that organized camp at Victory Heights with 400 and something young people every time. This is the Steve Paul that went and saw the then President Sir Ellis Clark and invited him up at Victory Heights. A young man who had nothing in his life but only understand the vast potential that lies within him. And I want you to know there's vast potential that lies inside every one of us this morning. Tap into the kernel in you. Tap into that vast potential. Every day look at the mirror and say, self, yes, you are blessed. Say, self, yes, you are gorgeous. Say, self, yes, you are wealthy. Say, self, yes, you are rich. You gotta do it. Don't throw in the towel. Not because you don't see happen, not because something didn't happen the first time that you said it doesn't work for me. Steps will work, but you have to make it work. What does the Bible say? The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. He delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. Steps will work. It's a step, but you have to work it by step, by step, by step. Many of us want to see overnight success. It doesn't come that way. There are some people who are born with a gold spoon in their mouth. They come into a rich family. They come into wealth. They come into everything. Some of us come into poverty, and we turn that into wealth. And that's what it's going to take. That's when you know that you have the ability and the power and the strength to be able to do things that you desire to do in life. Wealth is not for a certain people. Wealth is for every one of us who understand the kernel that lives inside of us, the vast potential, the presence of God that lives inside of us, and are able that you break forth. Just as a corn planted in the earth springs forth many, so too a seed has to die in order before it comes forth. So as I close, my friend, I just want to let you know, tap into that potential, knowing that there's greatness inside every one of you. Keep going. Keep pressing on. Keep marching on. See God at work in your life. And let me close with this song by Frank Sinatra. Where he said, let me just get myself here right together. He said, yes, there were times, I guess you know, when I bit off more than I could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill of share of losing. But now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing. To think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way. The record shows, ladies and gentlemen, I took the blows and did it my way. With the help of Almighty God within my life, I stood tall with every blow that came in me, and I decide I will be successful. I will make it in life. I will keep pushing forward. I will keep pressing on. I remember that sermon about the jawbone of the ass, where Samson took that jawbone and slew 1,000 men. Take up that jawbone. Take up what God has placed inside of you and see him at work. Tap into that vast potential that lies inside of you. Yes, you may have some setbacks, but rise. Every time you fall, rise. Every time you fall, rise. Don't stay down. Don't stay down. And do like Frank Sinatra said. He said the best revenge is massive success. So everybody who gave up on you, do not give up on you. People could give up on you, but do not do what they do. You stand tall and see it all. Take the blows. But in the end of the day, at the end of it, you will see the glory of God. I must be able to say like the Apostle Paul, I am not ready to be apprehended. The time of my departure is at hand. I have fought the good fight. I have kept the faith. And that is my desire. I will continue fighting. I will continue holding on to that faith. I will continue holding on to that promise. That there's prosperity there for me. There's success there for me. And then when I say, yes, Lord, it's time now. And I leave a meaningful legacy. Let that be you this morning. Tap into the kernel in you. Let people know that the God you serve is able to deliver you and is able to carry you through these trying times that we are going through. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this time. Thank you for listening. I trust and hope this message has been a blessing to every one of you. This came directly from the heart. This came directly from a guy who went through things in life and who have overcome and decided that I will not throw in the towel. I will keep pressing on. I will keep marching on. Always remember, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. In the midst of this pandemic, God could bless you. Through COVID-19, God could bless you. See the blessing, see the glory of God, see the power of God in your life at a time like this. Yes, it is not over until you say it's over. And when you say it's over, then it's over. And let me just say this, that as long as a person is alive, as long as there's breath in them, there is hope. The only time there is no hope is when you lie 6 feet under that earth. But as long as there's breath in you, there is hope. So if you are in a depressed mood, if you gave up somewhere along the line, and you have your house in shambles, clean your house, set your house in order, set up your place, clean up your place. Every day you wake up, you lift up your hands and you say, yes, I'm alive and I am abundant. Money is coming to me in fun and all kind of ways if you believe it. Tap into the kernel in you. God bless you. Have a good day.